In 2024, Audi decided to come up with a new, completely redesigned Audi A5. Now this model right here is the Audi S5, which is basically the current top-of-the-line A5 model. The new A5 fully redesigned generation now replaces the A4 and the A5. So now they've been consolidated into one model, and you guys can see that it's been completely redesigned. This new A5 is actually a little bit larger than the previous generation A5, and of course definitely larger than the A4. We can see some really nice design, very nice flowing lines. You can see on the front the new headlights with a new matrix design on the actual daytime running lights. You guys will see all the new tech, but as always, we're going to be going over the interior, the exterior, the cargo area, the engine on this S5, and of course, the driving impressions. Guys, I'm Rich. Welcome to Rich with Cars. If you're new to the channel, make sure to check out some of the other content where I cover luxury brands and exotic brands like this Audi and some other brands like Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Lexus. And make sure to check out some of the content that I have in the channel if you're interested in maybe some new cars. But for now, we're gonna be going over this 2025 Audi S5. So now let's strap in and take a look. So starting right here on the exterior, we get to see that the new Audi A5, and this particular model trim, we have the S5, has a brand new design. We get to see that it's got a new grille design, which is a little bit larger, brand new headlights, front grille area, and of course the car in itself in general is much larger. You guys get to see, despite the fact that it does look like a sedan, it's actually a hatchback. We get to see brand new headlights, and you also get to see that we have these daytime running lights. The cool thing about these daytime running lights is that you can actually but you can actually choose from one of several different front LED or matrix LED designs as your light signature for your daytime running lights. I do like the front grille area quite a bit. You guys get to see the brand new two-dimensional logo. The only thing that I don't like about the front bumper area is the fact that you have an asymmetric front area where you can see the radar detector over here, and then on the other side over there, there's nothing really to show for it. So you have sort of like an uneven sort of look. You get to see a massive air curtain right here in the front, which you can see right through it, and that helps a lot in terms of redirecting the air around the vehicle for better aerodynamics. As we move towards the side, you get to see these brand new design wheels that come with the S5. Really nice. A little bit too busy for me, but I do like the overall design of it. You kind of have like a sort of 5-spoke design with some other design features that basically go around it. They're wrapped in Bridgestone Turanzas, which are 245, 35, 20. So you have a relatively nice size wheel that comes with the S5, and I believe these are optional wheels. You guys get to see it right there on the corner. If you see, it says RS. So that must be like an optional type of thing with the wheels. New design of the A5, S5 is the fact that you have these sort of integrated door handles, So it's for better aerodynamics, and you basically just put your hand right in there, and you just basically, there's not even a button. I think it's sort of like a haptic touch, to be honest. The overall size is much larger. It does look like an A6, to be honest, in terms of size. I'll put up the numbers in terms of the overall dimensions of the vehicle right now on the screen, and try to compare it also with what the previous generation A5, A4, and A6 look like as well, just to give you an idea of the overall size of what this vehicle looks like. Badging right here on the B pillar on the gloss black area. So nice little design feature that is very subtle. And that's part of the whole Audi subtle design of the entire brand itself. You also get to see some gloss black right here at the bottom side sill of the vehicle, or the side skirt. And I believe that comes with the black optic package. That's part of the $1,450,000 black optic package, and that comes also with those 20-inch wheels at the same time. Now you get to see a huge sort of change in the rear of the new A5, S5, in that now you have this massive light bar in the rear, which I do like. It's very, it resembles a lot what the A7, S7 kind of look like as well, with a massive light bar behind the vehicle. And also, what I do like the most is the fact that you have real tailpipes. You have real quad pipes right here, not any of that fakery. So Audi, job well done. I really like that a lot. A little bit too big for my taste though. It does definitely feel like an A6, to be honest with you, when it comes to size. That's the key. Very similar to other Audi vehicle keys. So you get to see, you got the S badging on one side, some matte black, the panic button as well, as you guys can see over there. And then you got your typical buttons, which are unlock, lock, and then your trunk release, alongside with the brand new Audi logos as well. Very simple, just your panic and then your S logo as well. So now let's take a look at the trunk space of the brand new Audi S5. Wow, that's actually quite large and in charge. That's the benefit of actually having a hatchback design trunk space, because it allows you to have way more space. And I believe that this is probably larger, definitely larger than the A4. I think somewhat larger than the A5. So definitely some benefits to having this type of design in terms of a hatchback. The cool thing is that you do have some cargo net area over here to store some smaller items, and then as well, like you guys can see, the seats over there are also, they can be folded down to basically fit some larger items. And then of course, if we take a look, there is small storage area right here, right below the flooring of the rear trunk space as well. And I'm gonna show you guys right now on the screen what the rear cargo volume area is for the Audi S5, just to give you guys an idea of what the rear seating space is like. So under the hood of the 2025 Audi S5 Sportback is a turbocharged V6 engine that now produces 362 horsepower, which is a modest bump over the previous model's 349. It's paired with a standard all-wheel drive system, which is quattro, and a new dual-clutch automatic transmission, which replaces the old 8-speed automatic. The result is a sharper, more responsive driving experience, especially when pushing through corners, thanks to the quick gear shifts and a more balanced chassis. Although I haven't fully tested this S5 yet, the last generation sprinted to 60 in just 4.2 seconds, and this one should probably be a touch quicker. Fuel economy does dip slightly to an EPA rated 19 miles per gallon in the city and 28 on the highway, but that's a fair trade-off for the added performance. I'll show you guys on the screen all the performance figures, the engine figures, the specs, and of course the EPA fuel economy numbers. Let's take a listen at what the new Audi S5 sounds like. We get to see some nice premium materials, which I was very surprised with, to be honest with you guys. We got some Alcantara right here, and you guys get to see that all the controls were integrated into one single panel over here. Simplifies things for them in terms of cost reduction, because you have everything in one panel, and you have quite a few controls right here, alongside with some additional Alcantara right here on the armrest. And then you have your trunk release over here, alongside with some storage space that can fit easily a 500 ml bottle, potentially even like a 750 ml bottle as well. Down below, you get to see the S trim door sill that shows that this vehicle is an S trim vehicle, alongside with your your seat controls, which are multi-way powered seats. Very, very nice seating, nicely bolstered and very nicely quilted as well. You get to see the design on the quilt alongside with the S badging right below the headrest. Seems like a one-piece back type of seat, but I sat in it already and it looks very, very nice. You get to see an aluminum footrest and brake pedal alongside with your gas pedal as well. Let's take a look deeper inside. We get to see a huge change on the interior layout from what the previous generation was. We also get to see the steering wheel has changed in shape. We have sort of like a squircle type of shape where you have a flat top and a flat bottom as well, alongside with the brand new two-dimensional logo. And then you have sort of like these haptic touch panels, which I'm not a big fan of. I would have preferred physical buttons, but you know, this basically allows you to change a whole bunch of functionalities. This is part of the new Audi cockpit, alongside with this massive, I believe it's a 14.1 inch screen. Once again, same screen, it's part of the same panel. And once again, we get quite a bit of reflection on this. Again, we have the infotainment screen right here that basically has, you know, a whole bunch of different functionalities. And you guys get to see how fast this is in terms of responsiveness. Very, very responsive. You get all the different functionalities. I'm gonna pull up the camera as well. I believe that this doesn't have a 360 degree. It has it here on the top. But in terms of like, you know, changing different angles, like twisting it around, but you have all the different angles if you want, but you just can't actually point exactly where you want around the vehicle. Regardless of the fact, it is a 360 in a different sort of way though. So it gives you all kinds of different functionalities. So here in the middle console, you get to see that the entire middle console is actually covered in gloss black, which, if you take a closer look, Smudge City. It's nice, the gloss black, but it gets so dirty so fast. You have this electric sort of gear lever that we've seen now in previous Audis as well, alongside with your engine start stop, and then some other functionalities here, which are your drive select, automatic start stop, your hazards, and your traction control off. You do have a couple USB-C plugs over here, alongside with your wireless charger. You can see my phone is being charged right now on the wireless charger. Couple of cup holders. You have your middle compartment over here that has relatively good space, not the best amount of space, but good enough. And this, I don't know what this little, I guess, storage compartment is. Aside from that, you have a relatively large glove box or glove compartment. One very cool feature though that I like tremendously is the fact that you have a panoramic roof over here that is electrochromatic. So you can change your different levels over here, whichever way you want. So that is super, super cool. I like that quite a bit. It gives you the option of doing it whichever way you want. And it keeps the sun away at the same time. I never thought that I was gonna like this so much. You have your controls for your electrochromatic roof over here, as you can see. So it's basically same type of control as a sunroof, but instead it controls the electrochromatic. Brand new 2025 Audi S5 is quite nice and quite technologically advanced as well. So right now I'm sitting here in the rear of the brand new 2025 Audi S5, and you guys will get to see that I'm 6'1" in height, and the seat here in front of me is basically set to my driving position, and I do have not the most amount of space, but I would say probably a good amount of space. I have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of knee room. I do like the fact that this has a little bit of an indentation here, so to give my knees a little bit more extra room. And you guys will get to see also that my head is almost touching, or it's actually touching, to be honest. It's touching the roof panel over here, but there is a little bit of a sort of like a hump here on the top, so it does actually help in terms of the headspace, but I wouldn't say it's super spacious. So at the end of the day, this has grown in size from the S5 or the A5 and the A4 and the S4, for example. I'd say it's probably closer to the A6 now, and it does have that sort of space as well, that is comparable to the A6 as well. The other thing also that I want to mention, you do have some manual sunshades, as you guys can see. We have some air vents here that are of course adjustable. A couple of other USB-C plugs as well. The other thing also is we do have a middle armrest with a couple of cup holders. So you guys will see that this has a pass-through shelf to allow for longer items to come from the trunk space area. But let's not forget that the seats also do fold as well. So, but it's very convenient to have this pass-through here as well. So whoever's sitting in the middle will have to definitely spread their feet a little bit further wide apart to allow for this to actually get in between them. All right, guys, so driving the 2025 Audi S5. This is a complete new design, and of course we do have some shared components from the previous generation with definite improvements to them. But so far in the short period of time that I've driven this, it feels quite good actually. Steering's a little bit soft, but at the end of the day, it has a good mix of both comfort and sportiness. Let's push the gas pedal a little bit now. Oh wow, it's got a nice little tone to it. Let's not forget this is a twin scroll V6 or twin scroll turbo V6. I mean, but it's definitely really nice in terms of sound, because we do have a dual clutch transmission now. Quite responsive. I have to say that the brake feels a little bit numb though. Suspension's good. It's quite compliant. Let's not forget, guys, that this does have the Quattro all-wheel drive system. So you definitely do have great maneuverability around the corners. Yeah, once you actually get on it, the transmission is very responsive. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the brakes. They do feel a little bit hard to press on the pedal and a bit numb. Wow, I'll tell you guys one thing. I can't show you right now while I'm driving, but on the gauge cluster, it shows me all the vehicles that are around me. That's part of the new safety system that Audi actually put on this vehicle. And I believe it definitely, like, in order to show me what it shows me on the gauge cluster, it shows me a truck that's on my right now. It shows me the vehicle that's in front of me. And even the graphics of the gauge cluster showing me all these vehicles, very nice. So it definitely must have some LiDAR in this in order to be able to display all this sort of stuff. So in terms of safety, I would probably say that this is top notch. I didn't get a chance to really test it out, and I don't want to test it out. So I was just told that the reason why the steering feels a little softer and the brakes also feel a little bit softer as well, they don't really communicate that much, is because what Audi decided to engineer on the newer models, like on this new A5 or this S5 specifically, when you're driving at slower speeds, they try to make the vehicle as comfortable and as luxurious as possible. When you push the car to its limits, let's say you take it 7/10 or you take it 8/10, then the car starts becoming much more responsive and the steering becomes even harder or tougher to actually steer, to give you more feel on the road. Unfortunately though, as you guys might know, I don't take my cars or my test drives on back roads to hammer the crap out of them. So I won't be able to feel that difference between hard driving and soft city driving. Sorry about that, guys, but most of the time when I'm driving these vehicles around for first impression reviews, I'm usually driving around very highly trafficked areas or very dense populated areas, so I can't really speed that much. Nevertheless, I did say that, you know, on the short spurts of fast driving, despite the fact that the vehicle is larger, it does feel like it's more wrapped around you, which is a good thing. And the car does feel a little bit more luxurious. It's larger, it's got more technology in it. I love, like I mentioned before, my interior overview, the Alcantara that you see all around you as well. At the end of the day, I think, you know, if I would have the opportunity to drive this also fast on back roads, is the fact that I think what Audi ended up doing is basically merging both luxury and performance into one vehicle, especially on this S trim. So ultimately and overall, I would say that I'm generally satisfied, generally impressed with the new S5. I didn't get to, you know, compare it to the, you know, regular A5, but this S5 is definitely, you know, a really, really nice vehicle. I think Audi did a great job. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this review of the 2025 Audi S5. Completely brand new. I definitely agree that improved on the previous generation A5 and A4. Definitely larger. It's got more luxury, but at the same time, especially in this S5 trim, you got some good performance at the same time, especially with a new dual clutch transmission that they replaced the previous 8-speed automatic transmission with. So ultimately though, I really do like the direction that the Audi's headed towards. I'm not a big fan though of the interior in terms of that large screen and all that piano black in the middle. Hopefully they get to change that. Maybe you get to choose that with several different types of trims. But at the end of the day, if you guys like this, make sure to leave a comment below. Give it a good thumbs up. If you guys have any questions, put it down in the comments below. Big thanks to Audi of South Orlando for allowing me to have some time with this Audi S5 and get a first impressions look at it. And make sure to stay tuned for any type of content that's coming up, for all the new content that is going to be filmed in the future that are similar to this vehicle and other types of luxury vehicles as well. So I'll see you guys on the next one.